the National Anti-Doping Agency to carry out a dope test on boxer Vijender Singh, which means that he is going to be tested for prohibited substances. Meanwhile, headlines today, Shivandre is reporting that Vijender Singh, in the middle of all this, has gone nearly incommunicado. There's no word from either him or his family. Now, the National Anti-Doping Agency is likely to take hair samples from Vijender Singh, which is likely to give the most positive results, the most believable results, and that dope test will be conducted on hair samples that will be taken from Vijender Singh. Remember, he stands accused by the Punjab police of using heroin 12 times in a span of about 3 months. Shivani of Headlines Today Sports Desk now joins us for more. Shivani, give us more details on what the directive of the Sports Ministry is and how will the test be conducted and when.
Well, the details are very sketchy right now, Padmaja, as to what the entire directive contains. Of course, the NADA will take a decision as to when and where they take the test. They will have to take the test as early as possible because NADA already has clarified before that they haven't tested Vijender in the last 6 to 7 months. So under the circumstances where he hasn't been tested for such a long time, they will have to act on this directive very, very quickly. They will have to get in touch with him. We'll also have to see what kind of samples they take from him. The Fatehgarh police has been wanting his blood and hair samples to be able to testify with some certainty whether he has taken heroin in the last few months or not. But these samples don't always have the remains of any such consumption for a long time. 6 months is really the outer limit. So the NADA will have to decide as to what kind of samples they take, whether they are the competent authority in this area as far as hair samples are concerned, because the National Anti-Doping Agency really only tests athletes in competition, generally takes their blood or urine samples and not usually their hair samples. This directive from the Sports Ministry in all likelihood has come under a lot of pressure because they cannot have been just bystanders, even as a very known icon of the sporting world was being indicted in many ways in such a huge drug scandal. The importance of this directive, though, is that while Vijender had the liberty of refusing the police that was investigating this case for his samples, because so far they haven't been able to get a legal notice to get his samples, right now with the directive there will be even more pressure for him to come up in front of the NADA and give his samples, and that could help the police as well in their investigations.
Now, Shivani, hypothetically speaking, if the results of this test come out positive, and there's a big if over there, will that have any effect on Vijender's sporting career?
Well, there are really no guidelines to test athletes out of competition, especially for recreational drugs, which heroin falls under. In competition, of course, if you are caught with heroin in your system, it invites bans for a few months and so on and so forth. But this is a very unique case. Usually, in most cases, Padmaja, you cannot even go back and test athletes retrospectively with any information that they took drugs at a certain time. Several athletes have actually come out in the open years after they've taken drugs during competition or out of competition, and there is not really any action that you can take on them. So as far as impact on his sporting career is concerned, we really cannot say because guidelines do not allow anti-doping agencies to even test athletes out competition like this, much less take action against them. But this is going to be a huge blow for him anyways, because already his image has taken a huge blow. He's a Padma Shri, so the government has invested a lot in him. Of course, he has received various grants and other facilities from the government, training at the NIS. So it's a huge slap on everyone's face. It cannot really be a scenario where a known icon, an Olympic medalist is...
Absolutely. In fact, let me also get in my colleague, Kamaljeet Sandhu, who's reporting on what the Sports Ministry has said and what it plans to do from here. There has been immense pressure on the government, Kamaljeet, that cannot be denied after this entire scandal broke out. And finally, the Sports Minister's hand was forced practically into ordering a dope test on Vijender Singh. Give us more details.
Well, definitely, this is going to be a huge embarrassment as far as Vijender Singh is concerned. But remember, the point is that will he present himself? There's been a huge furor since his name has come in this drug hall. Even though the Punjab police has been saying that there's no direct link in the drug hall case itself, but yes, there has been a personal consumption, and at least up to 12 times. Now, his coach and his family have been saying that he will present himself at the opportune time. Remember, twice also he's been before Punjab police, but he said he did not believe in the methodology of Punjab police, and that is why he did not give his blood and hair samples. But this is coming from Sports Ministry now, from the NADA itself. So yes, there is an opportune time. Remember, this drug itself will be present in the athlete's body for some time to come. So is he? That is why his whereabouts are not known. He has to come clean if he believes that he is not involved. He has to come and give those blood samples, that hair sample, and this is the right opportunity to do so, to present himself before NADA and give those samples right away.
But in fact, Kamaljeet, you're in Chandigarh and you've been trying to get in touch with Vijender himself. Apparently, all this while, Vijender has practically gone underground ever since the scandal broke out. What more details can you give us on that front?
Well, definitely. So his whereabouts are not really known. His family is not really speaking. Even his coach that we spoke to in the morning said his whereabouts are not really known. So why is Vijender gone underground if he's not involved in this particular case? Ram Singh has come out and spoken. Remember, his coach in NIS had spoken. His personal coach in Bhiwani has spoken out today. But where is Vijender Singh? That's the big question. Remember, Punjab police is not going after Vijender Singh. They had taken the district attorney's version itself, saying this is perhaps not the right opportune time to really go after Vijender Singh. They have a better and bigger goal, that is to go after the drug hall case, which has international repercussions as well. So they're going after that, but Vijender Singh still remains very important. Not only is a sporting icon, but he's also a DSP in Haryana Police.
Absolutely.
In that connection, he already knows what the laws really are. He's a sporting icon, and any person who's at least won an Olympic medal knows the sort of drugs they
so will you see more action on part of the government? For that, we'll get in touch with you, Kamaljeet. For now, thank you very much for joining us. Thanks also to my colleague Shwani for joining us on that story.